integration with ISC. Okay, before we begin, I would like to give a gentle reminder to all the participants here. First, please mute your mic icon, and during the Q&A session later, please feel free to raise your hand or type any question if you want to ask to our speaker. And also, you can chat in the chat box like here. Okay, next, about the attendance. Will be given in the chat box around 3:10 am, and the digital certificate will be provided for those who have registered in the okay, before we delete, allow me to introduce myself first. I'm Syakirah, your moderator for this evening program. And once again, I extend a warm welcome. Welcome participant who has taken the time to join this program. I know some of you are going to work or some of you are students, but you really to come here and to gain a new knowledge about the topic for today. Okay, today the topic we will be explore is titled Connect the Link Abroad. Many of us are curious about how to establish connection with others outside of the country, especially when it comes to producing quality articles or program, or some of us are students, but you want to know how to get a good connection. So now we will going to get a tip from our speaker. Now, allow me to introduce our beautiful speaker for today, Miss Sherrylyn Kang. Welcome, Miss Sherrylyn Kang. Open the camera.
Hello.
Hello, Miss Sherrylyn Kang. How are you?
Hi. I'm fine. I'm really great and excited to share with you guys today.
Good. Okay, today she will share to us about this topic. And for your information, I will give you a little bit detail about her. And he hails from Miri, Sarawak. And she is a PhD student in history at Faculty of Human Science. And before this, she was a history teacher, and she has completed her study with a bachelor degree in 2014, master degree in 2019, and now PhD from UPSI. And can be said that she is anak suluh kandung Budiman UPSI, is it?
Yes.
Okay. Further, her determination and perseverance in her studies has enabled her to receive the KPM scholarship in 2022. Is it?
Yes, true.
Oh, wow, so impressive about her background. So, with her extension knowledge and experience that Sherrylyn Kang have, so we will never adopt to shed link on to this topic. So, without don't want to waste our time, so I will like to Ms. Sherrylyn Kang to give the sharing. So, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Miss Syakirah. Yeah. So, okay, before we start, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my journey when I was doing my master. So, it was a master by research. I was doing a research about burial tradition that only focusing on one of the indigenous people in Sarawak, which is the Melanau community, if you guys ever heard of Melanau. So when I was doing my master, it took me about 4 years to complete my research. My master is 4 years, So if it's not because of my supervisor, Associate Professor Dr. Adnan Juso, who really stepped in to help and to push me back then, I don't think I will get my master degree today. So you know why? It's very simple because I was in the journey alone and I got a very limited circle in academic during that time. And this got me feeling demotivated to complete my master's. So when I was clueless, I got no one to refer to because at the same time, I also have that thought in my mind not to disturb my supervisor because he's a very busy person. So that's all in my mind. And I also don't have the connection with all other students or academicians that in the same research field with me, because I think during the time that my research is my own journey to walk. So even when I went to conference or seminars, you will see me in the corner of the room trying not to be seen by anyone, or I will be the one who will walk out from the room, the first one. I will be the first one to walk out from the room, just not to be noticed by anyone that I am there. See, that is kind of person that I am. And not to mention when it comes to asking question part, so that just never happened for me. So in another words, I like to keep myself small anywhere I go. So yeah, don't be like me. For those who just started their journey in Masa or PhD, you must have the stable connection either with your supervisor or other students. It is very important that you have the connections with other people. It will be easier for your journey because you will have that somebody to refer or do the discussion with. When I say connection, please don't just limit it only in UPSI. We have more than 20 academic institutions in Malaysia and also 1,000 around the world that you can make the connection with. So what I meant here is don't be the lone ranger in the field, because you imagine when you're going to war alone, the percentage that you will be dead is very high. My supervisor call it in bahasa Malaysia, he call it jangan mati syahid. Mati syahid, he said that. So to die in a war. So that is why my topic today is about connect the link abroad. It is all about building the connections. So next slide. All right. So as was told by the moderator just now, my name is Sherrylyn Kang. I'm a second year PhD candidate in Sultan Idris Education University in History Department, Faculty of Human Sciences. I'm doing a research regarding the culture of the indigenous people in Sarawak, focusing on the traditional burial. So as mentioned, I had done my bachelor degree in history education back in 2014 and my master of arts in 2019, the 4 years that I took. Okay. Anyway, I want to thank Oopsie and the PPS in particular for giving me the opportunity to share my experiences in this program that called Australia Malaysia Virtual Internship Program. I want to share how this program had an impact on myself, not only in my academic but also in terms of self-growth as well. So I feel that I have to do this because I owe the PPS one. If it's not because of them, I will not be in the program or don't even know about the program at all. Okay, you know why later. So next slide. What is AMVPIP? I make it short for Australia Malaysia Virtual PhD Internship Program. Have you guys ever heard of this program before? Can you answer me on the chat box there? Have you guys ever heard of it before? This program? Okay, Sophie said nope. How about you, the others? Have you ever heard of it? No. Yeah, so don't worry. For your information, I never heard of it before. Not until the PPS invited Mr. Pativan, who is one of the participants in the first cohort of this program, to share his experiences to us back in 2022, just like this event today. It is not via online, but it is in a class kind of session. So that is why I said I owe to the PPS one. So apart from that, I also want you to be able to know about this opportunity, just like what I had last time. Cut the story short, I was very inspired, Mr. Patiban, and I remember that day I'm saying to myself, only I can have the same experience as well as this guy. I even put it in my Facebook. You see the picture there? That is Mr. Patiban and I right after the talk. See the caption there? So inspiring and so motivating. Because that is how I felt after the sharing. But that was it. I never thought that I will be chosen to be the one of the people involved in this program. You know why? Because I was very inferior about my English. That's number one. Okay, back to the main question. What is AMVPIP? So as you can see in the slides, this is a program that act as a platform for a PhD student to engage with Australian academic researchers. There are three objectives of this program. That is, number one, to hone skills in an international environment, to build collaborative partnership with Australia early in our research career, and to experience Australia's research excellence through participation in Australian academic research setting. That's pretty much of it, but it got an enormous impact in my life, especially in my academic life. Next slide, please. Okay, my experiences in this program, Australia Malaysia Virtual PhD Internship Program. I can say that there are three stages that I went through in this program. First is the application, of course. As I had mentioned to you before, I never thought to join this program or thought of it at all after our sharing session with Mr. Patiban. What happened was my friend from University Malaysia Sabah texted me and asked me apply this program together with him. I'm not gonna lie, I was very hesitant at first, and I remember I gave him 1,000 reasons why I will not be chosen in this program. Again, because my inferiority is eating me up. But this friend of mine kept on begging and convinced me to at least give it a try. So I did. I applied for this program a day before its deadline. So in the application, we need to write our um, short research proposal in the box given in the website. Also, our academic backgrounds and all of that. And in the second stages was the interview. I waited for almost 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, for an email calling for the interview. Right when I got the email, I got mixed feelings. I'm happy, but at the same time, I was very scared and anxious because I got no idea what is going to happen in the interview. I also don't know what to prepare apart from just to understand my research well and, of course, learn how to say it in English. And during the interview, the second stages, during the interview, I was interviewed by three panels. Two of the panels are lecturers from University Science Malaysia, and another one is from AHC, stands for Australia High Commission themselves, that is Miss Azra. I can say that this interview is the most excruciating moment and the most longest 15 minutes interview in my whole life. I was not only asked about my research, I was also asked about what is the meaning of my PhD in non-academic world. So I cannot answer that very well during that time because my mind was set on becoming an educator. Doesn't matter how I answer the question, my answer keeps coming back to academic world. But starting from there, it got me thinking, what is the value of my PhD in non-academic world? Now I got the answer, but I'm not going to explain it here as it doesn't have anything to do with our topic today. So despite all that, surprisingly, I was selected to be one of the 10 participants in this 12 weeks program. It made me, of course, made me very special because imagine from the hundreds or thousands, maybe, I don't know, that applied for this program and you made it among the 10. However, I never tell the PPS or even my home supervisor about joining this program because during that time, I never thought that I will be chosen. Like I said, I like to keep myself small. But eventually, my supervisor knew about it and also the PPS. They even made a poster to congratulate me. So honestly, at that time, I felt very appreciated. So thank you, PPS. So I recommend you to tell your home supervisor or the PS at least if you apply for this program in the future. Okay, back to the slide. The third stage of the program That is the internship itself. The internship starts with an orientation on the first week. During the orientation, we were being briefed on what is this program, how is it going to run, and everything. First of all, we were required to find our host supervisor in Australia, someone that matched with our research field because they are going to help us with our research. So we were being taught on how to approach this academician in Australia for like on how to find our matching host supervisor and to email them by ourselves. We were also being trained emotionally not to feel inferior if we rejected, because rejection happens everywhere in this world, including the academic world. So during that time, I think I emailed 12 potential supervisors in Australia, but only got 2 replies. First is Professor Darren Kernowy, who is willing to be my host supervisor, but because he's no longer work with the UNSW, the University of New South Wales, he currently works as honorary researchers in Australia Museum. So I'm not able to proceed with him as the requirement to be supervisor in this program must be a lecturer in Australia University. Second reply was from Associate Professor Dr. Duncan Wright from Australian National University, who also turned me down as he's unable to commit in the 12-week program for some fieldwork purpose that he conducted at that time. But on the bright side, he referring me to Associate Professor Dr. Ben Shaw. So I proposed to Dr. Ben Shaw and he's willing to be my host supervisor. Then I reported this to Australia High Commission to make it official, and the rest is history. Okay, we go to the 12 weeks program. So before I go further telling you about my experiences, I want to introduce Dr. Ben to all of you. So this is Dr. Ben Shaw. He doesn't like me to call him Dr. Ben, just Ben. So he is a senior lecturer in archaeology, evolution of cultural diversity initiative in the School of Culture, History and Language, College of Asia and the Pacific of Australia National University in Canberra, Australia. He's a good match for me because I am doing an archaeological research on burial of the indigenous people in Sarawak. A little bit of much. He also into that kind of stuff. So next slide. So in the middle there, I took before we ended our meeting in the first day. Every week, every day, we met with our supervisor. We need to put it in our report. So on the first week we met virtually, of course, we introduced ourselves to each other and he directly asked me, how can he help me on my research? I forgot to mention that before the first meeting, I had sent him my proposal and I highlighted my chapter 5 for him to look into. So this proposal, of course, I have translated it to English as I do my research in Bahasa Malaysia. So in the first meeting, we had a discussion on what we're going to do throughout all the 12 weeks time. So we made a simple schedule. We decided to meet virtually once a week, which is on Wednesday. That's mean I need to report my weekly progress to him as well to the AHC, Australian High Commission, which is also on the same day but a different time. For example, normally I will meet with Dr. Ben at 11 a.m. in duration of 1 hour, and then at 2 p.m. is the meeting with AHC. I made the arrangement that Wednesday is for me to focus on this program so that the other day I can focus on my thesis. So I have no problem and I don't feel pressure with the workload that I have on my plate. You see the other picture there, the 3 pictures there that with a lot of people there. That is some screenshots I took during my weekly meeting with the AHC and my fellow cohort. You see everything is via online. On the second week, Dr. Ben introduced me to one of his PhD students, Mr. Simon Cox, that guy with a tattoo on his forehead right there, who is also doing an archaeological research in burial of the indigenous people, but in Masim Island in Papua New Guinea. you see how the connection expand indirectly when you meet with the right people. So during this meeting, we share our insights about ancient or old burial and how can we conduct our research so it can give an impact in the archaeological world and to the local people mostly. So we also share our reading materials and all of that. Above all, they also gave me the idea on what to add on my chapter 5 in my thesis. So they come with this brilliant idea, which I think my supervisor and I had been overlooked before. That is to look into the changes in burial tradition that are no longer being practiced or being replaced with a new tradition with but still symbolizing the same philosophy behind it. So their idea made me went back to my research site to see and ask if there are any as such. Indeed, there's a few tradition that align with the idea. So we turned this idea into a project which I need to present at the end of this program as what you can see in the next picture. Next slide, please. Can we go to the, yeah, all right, thank you. So this is my presentation topic, that is the evolution of burial tradition, different practices, but the same philosophy. And the next slide. Okay, and these are some of the pictures during the symposium in AHC building in Kuala Lumpur earlier this year in January. So this marked the last week of our internship program. To make it short, I learned and gained a lot from both Dr. Ben and Mr. Simon throughout the 12 weeks program. Believe it or not, I started to write on my chapter 5 when I was in my second year of study, because I got a lot of guidance, not only from my home supervisor, but also my host supervisor and Mr. Simon. Even though it is not 100% complete, but I'm satisfied of where I am right now. In terms of facilities or benefits for joining this program, I got a temporary ANU student ID, which enabled me to have the 2 years time student rate for off-campus accommodation whenever I have the time to visit ANU, which I still don't have the time and money to do so. Hopefully, I don't know, maybe Oopsie or IPS want to sponsor me one day. So yeah, okay, I was just kidding, yeah. Okay, besides, I was also been given a stipend amount of 500 Australian dollar by the AHC for me to use for anything regarding my research. And Ben suggested to me to use this money to buy any tools or apps that can help me with my thesis, for example, like Envivo, drawing apps, and all of that, or to join an international conference symposium in the future. So even though the program has ended, Ben and I still in touch with each other until this day. We still have meeting every Wednesday because now we're in the process of writing paper together to be published in a journal. So the collaboration is still ongoing. Okay, next slide. Lesson learned. Okay, there's a few lessons that I learned from these experiences. Number one is quit being inferior about our English language. Believe it or not, these people just doesn't care. They don't care about how we speak in English as long as they can understand us. Um, it's the opposite actually. They are very amazed that we can speak in their language because they are aware that English is not our mother tongue. I also found out that these people are very patient when we lost of word. I still remember I Google translated a Malay word. You know, Google translated a Malay word in the middle of conversation of Ben and I. I thought that he will be very boring with me because of, the barrier of the language. But he himself said, it's okay, take your time, don't worry about it. So from there, I know that they don't care about our broken English, as we call broken English. As long as they can understand us, then we will be fine. And the second lesson is that I learned is that just go for it whenever we get the opportunity, doesn't matter locally or internationally in our academic life, because I believe this will help us in the future, like in our career. Either we want to work abroad or we want to collaborate in a project with people from outside of our country. So from doing so, our perspective in our academic field also can be widened, and at the same time people will know us internationally, even it just in a small circle. Besides, it will look good in our resume in the future, don't you think? So the third lesson the third lesson from this program that I learned is this program has built our confidence. It can build our confidence. I'm quite certain that this program has nurtured my confidence to talk or connect with international academicians. For example, this recently I met with this very sweet lady in the picture, Associate Professor Dr. Valerie Mashman, during her local visit to a festival in our village. I know her reading some of her work, but I cannot believe that I approached her first, because when come to think of all version of me, not only I will be quiet, but also I think I will go run and hide. So from my meeting with Dr. Val, she invited me to join her team in a project she currently conduct about one of the indigenous people in Sarawak. She also gave me materials that she think might be useful for my research, and there's another plus there. Another one is she also introduced me to Dr. Nicholas Ghani, a local archaeologist who got his doctoral degree from Oxford University and currently a lecturer in UNIMAS. I think I will learn a lot from him. And you see how your network can expand when you meet with the right people. What I'm trying to say here is please build the confidence to talk to other people, especially in the same field with us, um in this academic world. So don't ever think that our research is nothing, like nobody wants to see it and nobody care, because you are totally wrong. There are people out there, like a lot of people out there who's in the same field with us all around the world, might be interested in your research. They just have yet to know you, because there you are, there we are here in Upsi thinking our research is nothing. So don't do that, okay? And lastly is ourselves to have a positive mindset when it comes to new experiences or new opportunity, because there must be a reason why we come to the certain path of our life. Just take the opportunity and go for it, and don't think too much, because it's not that bad. In fact, it will bring you where you are right now to another level. We never know. As what my dad always said, never try, we never know. Okay, so always be positive. And next slide. Okay, how to apply? If you are interested to apply for this program, you can go to KPT website at www.mohe.gov.my. I forgot to type in the MY there. There will be the advertisement about this program. For me, last time it was on July until August. And also you can find it in social media like Facebook. If you happen to follow the Australia High Commission page in Facebook, they will advertise this as well in their Facebook page and institution website. Because my friend from International Islamic University Malaysia told me that she found out about this program in their university website. So maybe some of the institution, they take the initiative to put the advertisement in their websites as well. And the next slide. Okay, who can apply for this program? Okay, this here is the requirement for the applicants. Scholars, number one, scholars must be enrolled at one of the 20 public university in Malaysia. So you are eligible if you are in UPSI, and scholars must be in their second and third year PhD program. But I think as long as you have done with your proposal defense, you can apply for this program too, because I was in my second semester, which means it was the first year of my PhD program. I was a first year PhD student when I applied for this program. And the third one is scholars must be Malaysian national. But I don't know how they're going to run this program this year. Who knows, they will open this to international students as well that studied in UPSI. Just be alert on the advertisement month with it, which is on July until August. So yeah, that's all from me. If you got any question, please ask. I will try my best to answer your question, or you also can ask me in Bahasa Malaysia as I can understand it very well. So thank you.
Thank you, Miss Sherrylyn Kang. It's such an impressive and good sharing. Okay, before we are going to the Q&A session, can we go to take a picture? So all of you can open the camera. So you can turn on the camera. I know everyone have a question, but okay, before we go into the next session for Q&A session, so please all the participants open the camera on the camera so we can take the picture first. After that, we are going to the next session. Okay, ready? One, two, three. Okay, once again. One, two, three. Okay, last one. Restart. Last. One, two, three. All right. Okay, next we are going to the next session, which is a Q&A session. Thank you for the cooperation. Open your camera. Okay, now it's a Q&A session. So if you want to ask Miss Shirley directly, you can do, or you can write in the chat box. So here, you can ask any question to the Miss Shirley.
Hi, Miss Sherrylyn. I would like to ask, okay, other apart from UPSI, I mean UPSI, how about the other participant? Is it in our local, is the total number 10 of participants is all that from the local universities or other universities?
So if I can hear you very well just now, if I'm not mistaken, your question is about the participants, right? So
Yeah. The 10
during my
participants.
okay, during my cohort, I think we are 12 participants. It says on the advertisement it's 10, but when we're in the orientation, there are 12 of us. So it all from the local universities, yeah. And also a PhD students, all of us. So is that answering your question?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, all right.
Another one more question. So you only managed to meet their, from their lecturers, is it, from Australia? How about the students? Do you manage to meet up their students or Google Meet or, via anything? Or you only deal with their lecturers?
So this is it says that this is a virtual internship program. Yeah, we meet every week virtually. Everything we done is virtually. That is why students from the engineering field or students that conduct experiment in their research, they are not encouraged to join this program. So yeah. because everything is via online.
Okay, understood, understood. Thank you, Michelle.
So that's a question in the chat box. Can I know what is the name of the program again? The program name is Australia Malaysia Virtual PhD Internship Program. And this program is organized by the Australian High Commission Malaysia. Can you share with us what they asked during the interview? So all I remember first is they asked about my research. So what is the method, why I want to do this research and all of that stuff. But it's just the most thing that I remember, that when they ask something that outside of the box, like what is, like I said just now, what is the value of my research in non-academic world. So now I know the answer. So the answer is like, my research can help the local people to, you know, uh how to promote their culture, something like that. What do we need? So during the weekly discussion, we need to do a report actually. So every week, like after the meeting with our supervisor, our host supervisor, we will need to tell the AHC what is our progress, because in the program we need to have a project for, like that I showed you just now on the slides that I presented on the AHC building during the mini symposium. So every week we need to give the AHC what is our progress on that project. And yeah, and the AHC also give us the template of the report lah. So we just fill in the template with our what is our.
Okay. Any other questions? Syakirah can take over.
Is this limited to? It's open. If I'm not mistaken, it is open to all of our research, like all of the field except for the research that we need to do the experiments in the lab or and something like that lah. So I'm not very sure if it's only open to social science. So yeah, I guess if you're doing a research that need you to be in the laboratory or something, maybe you're not eligible to apply for this. So I don't know, maybe because um the term is the term that they are going to they're going to, I mean, how to say it, the the term in every year is getting, they change it every year. So in the first and second cohort, then that doesn't include this engineering and all of the research that include the students to be in the lab. So I don't know about if it's this year or they open it to every, I don't know. So just be alert on July and August lah. So see what is the term for this year cohort. Okay. Thank you, Kayla.
Any other questions from the participants? Okay, if there is no any other questions, I would like to remind all the participants, please fill in the link to get the digital cert. For Miss Sherrylyn, there is a cert for you. IPS will prepare the cert for you. All right. Okay. If there is no any other section questions, okay. Thank you very much, Miss Sherrylyn Kang, for your opportunity, for your time and your sharing session. It's a very wonderful and very impressive session. Thank you very much to all the participants as well. All right. Okay. See you all. Thank you very much for your support.